absolutely so scary. One day I woke up and I couldn't see. My eyes opened, but everything was completely black. This is the start of my autoimmune story. Hey, I'm Selena Faye, your midlife guru, friend, cheerleader, whatever you want to call me, but I'm here to talk about all things midlife. And autoimmune disease is becoming so much more common in midlife. It starts awakening itself. And so I'm going to back up and I'm going to tell you my story. When I was 38 years old, I started noticing that my body was just getting weaker. Like I would be washing dishes and my arms would be giving out. If I wanted to scrub something, like I would have to take breaks in between scrubbing things because my arms were so weak and would just literally give out on me. It got so bad that I couldn't cook a meal. Like to stir something totally, my arms would give out. I'd have to get one of my kids to come finish helping me cook. And I did it as a cooking lesson because I was trying to disguise my problem. Well, then one morning I woke up and my daughter was griping about something in the other room. You know how kids do. And I was mad. I don't like to be woke up. So I get up and I start heading towards her room and she comes around the corner. She's like, "What are you doing?" She said, "I was banging against the wall and I passed out." The next thing I woke up in my bed. I was married at the time. That husband is like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" He had picked me up, put me in the bed. I'm like, "I'm just tired." But being tired was a common thing for me. I was tired all the time, like tired, come home from work, lay down in the bed and sleep. I had absolutely no energy to do anything. And it was just getting worse and worse and worse. And so I was like, yeah, I think I just need to sleep a little bit more, go on to work. I'm going to be fine. Well, this was a common thing, so it wasn't a big deal. Well, I woke up a little bit later and I called one of my coworkers. I'm like, I was the boss at the time. And I'm like, "Hey, I need you to come pick me up from my house. I'm not feeling great, but I, don't think I should be driving." How I was aware enough to know that, I don't know. Because I literally do not remember her picking me up. I do not remember walking into work. I changed my clothes and everything at home. I don't remember any of that. I remember waking up at work. I'm a nurse. I work with other nurses. They're shining lights in my eyes. They're, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Now, everybody at work knew I was struggling with fatigue and being extremely worn down and tired. I was already seeing a neurologist because of these issues that I was having. They thought maybe I had myasthenia gravis or Graves' disease. They had taken my blood and they had run it and tested it for a million different things. Everything came back normal. They couldn't figure out what I had. I had brain scans. Where they put the electrodes on your brain to check your brain activity. I had already had all of this stuff done. So this wasn't something new going on. This was just like the big thing that happened. And I'm like, just take me back home and let me go back to sleep. And my coworkers told me that I was drooping on one side of my mouth and my words were slurred. I don't remember that. And they were like, "No, you've got to go to the doctor." And they knew my doctor that I was seeing. So my coworker drove me to my neurologist. That's my brain doctor. Do not remember any of that drive. Don't remember getting in the car. Don't remember the drive. Don't know how I got in the doctor's office. I remember being in the doctor's office and the doctor coming in and saying, "You don't look good." Checking my blood pressure, it was extremely low. They said, "We're going to send you to the emergency room." And I'm like, no, I'm fine. Just let my friend take me home. And my friend's like, "No, I'm not." She said I was green. She's like, "I'd never seen that color in anybody before." I do remember the ambulance coming and picking me up and the ride being very, very bumpy. And I remember them telling me that my blood pressure and my heart rate was really low. And that if my heart rate went below 20, they would have to give me medicine. And that happened. And they had to give me a medication to make your heart beat faster. And that's all I remember. The next thing I remember, I was awake in a hospital room. My husband was there, my friends, and the doctors asking me, the medicines I took. Well, I had like literally a case of medicines I had because they had me on all these different things trying to figure out and help what nobody knew what was going on anyways. They stopped all that. They sent me, I stayed overnight at the hospital. I didn't sleep that night. I was scared to death. I'm like, I almost died. And I don't know why, and nobody else knows why. And this is, I was so frustrated, so sick of it, so mad, so scared. They sent me home the next day. They did a sonogram of my heart. They sent me home. I wore a heart monitor for 2 weeks. I did more blood tests. I did more testing. I did scans of my whole body and everything came back normal. And I'm like, but it's not normal. And my doctors are saying, we know it's not normal. We just don't know what it is. They're like, this incident could happen again, or it may not ever happen again. It hasn't happened since. It's been about 8 years since then, but I still struggle with a lot of the same stuff. My fatigue comes and goes. I can have a good day, and then I have like 3 or 4 bad days where I just lay around the house. I have no energy. I have no strength. You know, I've tried different supplements. I take different supplements. I only take 2 medications now. The rest, I'm afraid to take medications. I have so many issues. I get migraines all the time, pain. Some days I just wake up in pain. Some days I wake up swollen. Today's one of those days. I wear a CPAP for sleep apnea, and you can see my line here. This line has been here since I woke up this morning. I've been awake for about 10 hours, and this is still here because I'm a little puffy and swollen today. I can't seem to lose weight no matter what I try. I've tried AIP diet, where you really restrict the foods that you eat to see if that helps. And there are some things that definitely does help with. It has helped some, but not made a huge difference. So still trying to figure out what my autoimmune disease is. Still don't have answers. And that is driving me crazy. And that is probably one of the worst things, is not knowing, you know, knowing it's not normal, but not knowing what it is. And I can understand it because as a nurse in nursing school, we learned what is normal. And when you're out in the real world working, if it's not normal, you ask and you research to find out why it's not the normal. So I get that. I understand that science is a science. It is a practice. You can't go in the doctor with a cough and then know exactly what's causing the cough and know the perfect medication for your body that's going to fix that cough. That just doesn't happen. It's so frustrating for the patient. So that is my autoimmune story. If you have any that you can share or want to share, please do, because I'm always out there looking for an answer to my problem, a way to help myself and my family, because I have a lot of life to live and I want to keep living it. So like, comment, follow, whatever you want to do. I appreciate it. And I will see you next time.